We are so elated and glad you're here. I have to use both of those words because Cardell was coming for me before we started. What am I getting choked up for? Was coming for me before we started because he said I use too many synonyms, if you will. But I am elated. I am glad. We need some headroom on here. I'm excited, thrilled, even overjoyed that you are watching, listening to us. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Evolving You, where we encourage you to embrace your next realm. Listen, I've been up since 1 a.m. Words are hard. I'm your host, co-host, Danielle.
And I'm Cardell.
And this week, we are talking about goal setting. Goal setting. So, you know what? Side note here. I need everybody to leave a comment, leave a response. How is goal setting really helping? What do you do to start goal setting? Because I feel like a lot of times we have these goal setting tips and we just want to jump in. But what do you really do? And what requires a goal setting plan? I have so many questions. Do I need a goal setting plan to do chores around the house? What requires a goal setting plan? Real questions. I'm sorry. I just had a real random thought. Cardell. This is going to be a random podcast. I'm sorry in advance.
It is, but it's not. Because it's really an on-time thing. Because my thing is, when me and Danielle do these podcasts, a lot of times it preach to us. So, this one for sure is a major thing for both of us. Because we both have busy lives. Danielle still works a full-time job. She still runs 2 to 3, 4 different businesses on the side. I do 2, 3, 4 different things on the side too. It just be a lot going on. So, but a lot of times we have to set goals for what we need to do and accomplish for the day. Because there's so many things to do in a day, you really literally only have 24 hours. You really don't even have 24 hours. No. Because you literally take at least 12. I mean, let's just do half. You literally take 12 hours of the day doing something. That's if you just sitting around the house, if you sleeping all day, if you just doing whatever you do all day long. Because you go to work, you work a 9-hour shift. After you get out that 9-hour shift, it's time for you to go home and cook. It's time for you to start getting prepared to go to bed. And it's time to start it all over again. So in the midst of doing all that, where are you really working on projects or other things to really get you and prepare you even further? Mm-hmm. So I think one thing is when it comes to goal setting, it's just kind of knowing where you want to go, how you want to move. It's more of to help you stay on track and know where you're trying to go versus just going through the daily routine. Because going through the daily routine happens so quickly. You'll wake up that morning, stuff will happen, and then it's already 10 o'clock at night. Where did they go? I literally need more hours in a day. And I think that's one thing is why we do goal setting or even try to attempt to do it. Because we want to see a difference in what we are doing on a regular basis.
I agree. So here's my question now. Because you know what I mean. I'm about to say devil's advocate for lack of a better term, but I am never an advocate for the devil. Let's just make that clear for the world. I am a Jesus advocate. So I'm just going to say, in the world of the other side here, some people may see goal setting as a waste of time. And I say that because I feel like I just feel so burdened with the things and the chores and the activities of the day that I'm like, I gotta set a goal, 2 goal set. Like it's real deal. It gets to that point where you're literally planning to plan. I'm at a point now where I have to set alarms. Okay, do this. If I don't have an alarm in my phone, listen. If I remember to do it, it's really a miracle from up above because I have so many other thoughts going through my head. And I think me and you talked about this, Cardell, of just our attention deficit is just woo.
Garbage.
Like for real. For me it's hard to focus sometimes, and here's why. Hear me out. It's hard to focus because I feel like if I'm over here doing A, my brain is thinking about how can I also start working on B, C, and thinking about D. Like it's a lot going on, which is why I feel like for me, I gotta set a goal to go see. I sound so exhausted, don't I?
You did. You sound like you're so defeated. But I mean, it really makes a lot of sense that we get busy. Things happen. And in the midst of things happening, life be lifing. That is my quote. It may not make sense, but life be lifing.
It makes sense.
And it throws your goals off. It throws off your aspirations. It throws everything off. So literally what I've been having to figure that out for myself. What do I need to do? I feel like it's things I need to do every single day before I start my day. I need to get my thoughts together. I need to take this day to do this. I need to take that day to do that. I need to be more strategic on how I organize my mind. Because like I say, it's a lot that goes on.
Yeah.
But it's like in life, you have to organize things. Things cannot always be all over the place. Because even like when you're cooking a meal, it has to go in a certain order. You just can't say, oh, like for instance, I make biscuits. I'm not going to say, okay, let me go ahead and put the flour in the oven. No, it's a whole nother process that I have to do to accomplish what I'm trying to do. I first got to put the butter in, make sure that the shortening is super cold. I got to make sure that my buttermilk is cold. I got to make sure my flour is together. I got to make sure my flour is sifted. So it's a lot of different things still rolling, but my ultimate goal at the end is to have these fluffy biscuits come out. So I still got to go through the whole process of sifting the flour, adding in all the ingredients, still working the ingredients so it makes a dough. Then after I take that, then I got to dump it out. Then I got to pat it out. Then I still got to make biscuit cuts. Then I still got to take the biscuit cuts, put it in a pan, and then I still got to let it bake for 30 minutes. So it's a long goal process, but if you stay on the course of that process, you would get the end result that you truly need and the goal that you want. So it's just like you got to start thinking about it's not because I think a lot of times this is the thing. I feel like people think of a goal as a chore. And when you think as a goal as a chore, your mind shuts off. Because you go back to a little kid, you're like, I don't want to do that. That's not a goal that I want to do today. I just don't want to do it. It sounds good, but no, I don't want to do it. But when you put it into your mindset of, like I say, I literally broke it down. I know that it's so many steps just to make some 12 biscuits, but I have to follow all of those things exactly that way to get the result that I need. So that's just like for your goals. Make a realistic goal plan that you can strategize, that you know that you can achieve, and don't make goals that are unachievable. Because that's the thing, another thing too. We set goals, but then we say, I want to be a millionaire by the end of the year. But what are you doing in the process? Are you working something that's going to actually make that happen? Just don't say that and you're not working nothing that's actually going to build in that type of income. because it's just like, I mean, it can happen. Literally, I'm not saying that it can't happen, because God can do anything. He can have somebody walk up to you. But at the same time, if you know that you want to do it on your own, of that's your goal, that I want to make $1 million, make sure you are in a line for that $1 million.
Right.
Just don't say something just because that's a goal.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. That makes sense. And something you said too that I really like was you have to organize your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's sometimes difficult to do because, as we both said, your mind is racing. So organizing your mind is key. And I want to read some of the tips that we talked about in our blog on transitioningyou.com, by the way. And also some tips that I saw on other various websites. The first thing to goal setting is commitment. You can't start goal setting until you make up in your mind that you are committed and you're going to be committed, because everybody starts off strong. Everybody starts off the race strong. I've done some 5Ks. I start off strong. I'm good. I'm like, whoa, I'm in there. Listen, by mile 2, woo. I'm like, is this not over yet? I'm sure it's been 3 miles. At this point, it's definitely been 3. But that's exactly what goal setting is. It's understanding when I'm starting this process, even as you're writing down step 1, step 2, you have to be committed to every single step. That is first of all, recognizing that. And this website says commitment refers to the degree to which the individual is attached to the goal and their determination to reach it. Woo. Let that marinate.
Say that one more time for the people.
One more time for the people in the back. Commitment refers to the degree to which an individual is attached to the goal and their determination to reach it. So it's a lot in that. You got to be committed to one goal setting, and then you are literally attached to the goal. That's the part that preached to me, because I can't leave it here. If I'm attached to it, if I leave it there, guess what? I just left me there. Mm-hmm. If I bring it with me, then we're going all the way. We're going to see what top the end's going to be. But I feel like we don't understand. Sometimes we think goal setting is just what we put on paper. But no, you've made that commitment. That's your vow to yourself. You're breaking your vow. I just gotta break it to you. You're breaking your vow. I'm so sorry to you. So what are you going to do to go back and replenish that promise you made to yourself?
And that's so good. I'm glad you said the attachment part, because that awakens so much in my mind. Because a lot of times when you detach from that, people always feel like, I feel so empty. I feel so accomplished. It's because you detached from the goal that you had.
Listen.
Think if you kept that going, you would have been able to still succeed. Because like I say, if you're cooking something, for instance, like I said with the biscuits, if I stop midway through and I don't put the biscuits in the oven, it's not going to do nothing. You're just going to be eating something that's undesirable. You're eating something that's going to get too soft. You're eating something that's not going to add you any type of value. You're basically eating mush. You're basically eating, just think about a biscuit out of a can. If you see the texture of it, that is where your goals are lying. They're lying in a place that needs to rise. Not
yeah.
It needs to rise. So it's like you got to understand. You have to understand that those things, if you do not, imagine, like I said, that biscuit being flat. Until you bake it, until you add some heat to it, until you go through some things, until you go through all the frustrations that you're going through, all the sleepless nights, all the times I done been up going through, like, why am I here? But you gotta realize you gotta go through the fire sometimes to come out so much higher. And that's another thing when it comes to biscuits. The way that a biscuit rises is when they touch, because that's a cooking tip, just to let y'all know that too. Because when you put a biscuit together, they rise up together. So you got to be connected to some people too that's going to help you achieve your goals. Don't be like the other biscuits that when they sit by themselves, they just stay up. They just stay in that same position. They don't rise because they're just crisping on the outside because they don't have nobody else to bring them up. So you have to understand, sometimes when you are doing goals, you have to let the people that's in your circle know, I got a goal. I need you to help me achieve that goal. I need you to help stay on me. I need you to be my accountability partner. I need you to say, hey, did you do this today? Sometimes we got to have our friends and our circle be our parents. Because sometimes we get lost. Sometimes we get confused.
Lost in the sauce.
Sometimes we just don't know what we need to do. But you have to understand, to set a goal, this is going to be some of the tips that I want y'all to write down. To have a goal, know that it's attainable.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is, when you have a goal, let somebody know that you're trying to achieve something, because you never know who you might talk to that's going to help you achieve your goal even quicker. Who will they know? Who they might connect you with? You might tell somebody that you want to start a business. You might want to tell one of your coworkers that you want to get a higher up position. And then you may not even know what they might be doing in the background for you, but you planted that seed. And sometimes you have to plant your goal seed out there and just keep working for it. And then as soon as one day you're just going to be sitting there and you're just like, oh, that happened.
I'm here.
I'm here. I've arrived.
Oh, the biscuits are done. Look at us. You know what's great about that when you said your little cooking tip there? A tip that they have for goal setting is feedback. So that's feedback, including internal feedback, helps to determine the degree to which the goal is being met and how you are progressing.
It was the degree. It was the degree.
It was to the degree, right? So I feel like with that, a lot of times we make goals, but to be honest, and I'm just speaking from our perspective, when you make goals, sometimes we make goals in doubt, which is why we don't tell people about them, because we like, my dreams are too crazy. I don't even want you to be a part of it, because then you're going to say they're out of control. So we don't tell people about our goals because we are so ashamed that we are dreaming crazy and we don't want somebody else to think we're crazy. But here it is. Listen closely here. When you are writing down your goals, you have to look at it like prayer. How I tell people to look at prayer. You don't talk to God because you think or you're doubting whatever you're asking for is going to happen. You're praying because you're believing that it's going to happen. Take that same approach as your goal setting. You are goal setting because you believe it's going to happen. You just got to write down the steps for yourself, because write the vision down and make it plain. Though the vision tarry, it shall surely come. So you have to write down the plan so you can see where you're going, and that way you can send a picture to Cardell like I do. Remember how we wrote this down in February of 2020 in my apartment that I would have a house? I'm just throwing some things out there. You have to write it down so that you can see. You have to see where you came from, so that the next time you have a big goal, you're not saying, oh, I wonder if this is going to happen. No, the fuel from achieving your last goal is going to fuel your next goal. Ooh, that was good. That was good. That was a good one. That was
a good one. Because it's just like when she said that, I forgot about we wrote that down. It's a lot of things that we have written down that we have seen now. One thing that we wrote down is that we wanted to work with restaurants and food trucks, because like we want to really like help those different businesses. And then to be now working, one of our clients works with a ton of food trucks where we can advertise for these people, do everything that we want to do. So it's like we only wanted one or two, but we got a whole department of different people that we can market for. Because even though we're marketing for that organization that we're working with, but we also are marketing for those people as well. So it's like a double thing that we're doing. We're helping who we want to help, but we also wrote down the goal and the plan that this is what we want to do. We just got to keep pushing and get there. because I'm Daniel for to get hype when I say this. Because I was literally telling one of my friends yesterday, I don't know when Pixar needs to go ahead and send me my check, but my go-to message is
Come on.
Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
You just have to keep swimming. No matter what your goals are, just keep swimming. Because you never know when you're going to get there. And people are literally going to help you out along the way as long as you keep swimming. They literally knew nowhere where they were going, but they just kept swimming. And like me and Daniel say, our favorite thing is when we pray sometimes is, God, what I don't know, I will know. So in the process of you writing out your goals, you may not know all your goals that you want to do. But as you write out your goals, some that hit your mind, just know that you may get the right opportunity to actually achieve those goals. Just keep swimming.
If you just keep going.
I've been praying, I said, God, give me a mentor, give me somebody, let me do what I need to do. Because I want to develop more, I want to be more of a stronger businessman, I want to do all these different things. And then just by chance, I don't like talking to people. Y'all may see me talking on here, you may see me talking hee and ha with people, but just to be very honest and transparent on this podcast, I do not care for people. I smile, I wave, I speak, but when I have to have a conversation, I'm not there. And that's very honest and transparent. But I push myself. I talk to this person and things transpire. But if I stayed in that box of wanting to get more and not going outside of the box to actually go out and find more, then I would have been still in the same position. I would have still been lost. But now as I opened up my mouth and I started saying things started to happen. So think about that too. Start saying your goals out loud and believing in your goals, and you'll watch them just start manifesting.
Right. You know what? Saying it out loud too, it allows you to hear your goal. And then that also helps you further clarify your goals, because clarity is key. When you are specific in your goal, then you know what you are fighting for. Everyone who knows me know if I want something, then that's what I want. I'm not going to go for the knockoff brand. I'm not going to go for second best. If I want something, that's the thing I'm going for. It's a don't settle spirit, if you will. Because if I'm going to work hard for something, why am I working hard for second best? Why am I hustling hard for that'll do? No, if I'm hustling hard, we are going all the way, and I'm going for what I want. I feel like we need to understand that in our goal setting. Don't settle for that'll do because you feel like, oh, that's all I have the energy to attain right now, so that's what I'm going to do. No, if your goal is to be a millionaire, why would you stop at 500,000? You're halfway there. Why stop there? Why say, oh, I got this, so I'm not going to keep going? It's one thing that I've learned that Cardell and I, we often say this. If we made it this far, and like Cardell just said, imagine what would happen if we just keep going. In order for us to get the clients, the food truck, and the organization that we have now, we had to keep going. If we would have stopped after year one, we wouldn't have made it to the client we have now, because we would have been over. No one would be able to find you because you stopped. But because you kept the vision going, you kept the goal setting going, you kept achieving something step by step. We have a list of things. This is what we want. This is what we need. This is what we want to do that's new. You have to keep looking back at that list. That's also why you write things down, so that you can check some stuff off. You have to keep looking back at that list so that you don't get discouraged. You know, something is working out here. I'm checking off some things. I'm not checking off a lot right now, but we are working towards something. We are progressing. And that's the key to goal setting. Progression. Right.
And then it's just, you have to celebrate all of your progression.
Celebrate the wins, yes.
Because that's definitely a thing. Sometimes we be like, oh, I said I wanted to be here by this time. But what have you still done by that time? If you have gotten a little bit closer, say congratulations, shots on me, whatever the case might be, because it's the point of you did something. You made it to this point. You like Danielle said, you could have stopped. You could have been sitting at home. You could have just said, you know what, it's just not my time. But the point that you still kept going and you are still progressing and you see progression just because you got to closer and closer and closer. Because if you ever stop your goal in the middle, you never would know what the end product would be. That's it. It's just like I say, from cooking, if you are cooking a meal, if you stop midway in the middle of cooking your meal, you're going to get...
Oh, biscuits.
Here goes another analogy of food. I don't know, maybe I'm hungry tonight. But it's just like cooking a hamburger. You know that the meat is raw. And you know you consume raw meats, you know you can get sick. So imagine you have seasoned these hamburgers so well, you done got them situated, you done put cheese in the middle, you got them all ready to go. And then as soon as you put it on the skillet, and you didn't even flip it, you just put it in the skillet, and then you say, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. Right. Now that burger is underdone, you can't eat it, it's burnt, it's all these different things. But just think, all that hard work, like she said at the beginning, you be fired up. You be like, oh yeah, this gonna be good, this gonna be good, this gonna be good. Right. But then once you start the process, you just like, I don't want this. Right. But now you have wasted that time. So it's just like, before you start your goal, know that it's a goal that you are able to do and follow through. No matter how long it takes. Because, I mean, a hamburger don't take that long. But if you cook that hamburger just right at the right temp, you got that cheese nicely melted on the inside of the hamburger. When you cut that hamburger open and you see that cheese ooze out, you're going to be excited because now you know what you're getting ready to eat. You know that what you have worked for is going to be the best thing you ever had. So it's just keep working. When you keep working and you keep moving, you're going to see the results that you want. And it takes a lot. But don't make okay, let me say this too. When you set your goals, don't do 20 goals at one time. Just don't do it. Start baby feeding yourself. Put yourself on a 3-month thing. Say for these first 3 months, I'm going to try to do something new. And each month for those 3 months, try to do that new habit. I read or I heard somewhere that they said that if you do something new for 30 days, that you will now be able to, you have developed a new habit. Because now you have built that repetitive motion, you are ready to go. So each month, take one goal to focus on. What do I need to do? What do I need to accomplish in this month? Now you're not bogged down. Now you don't feel like it's a chore. Like if it's losing weight, for instance, or you want to change the way that you eat, take that month to switch the way you eat. Take that month to write out all your plans. Take that month to break down your biggest goal. And then once you do that, how I'm trying to say this, it is better for you to digest. It's better for you to take that bite of it instead of actually trying to just shove all the food in your mouth. Because now you're able to process it, you're able to think more clearly about it, and you're not just trying to overwork your mindset of saying, whoa, this is way too much. Because like I say, life be lifing. And when life happens, you can't have 20 goals because now you done forgot all your other goals that you were going to do because you just don't even know where you need to go anymore. But write the goals down, but don't take all 20 to try to accomplish in that 1 month. Just do one at a time.
I like that. Take it one at a time and just keep swimming. I think we gave you all some great tips. I love that. Commitment, clarity, just keep swimming. Get feedback from your circle. Come on, us. You know what? I don't like to toot our own horn, but our ad-lib game is so strong. You right, call me that. Call me that. I mean, really have nothing else to add. You kind of like put it all into perspective for us right there. Anything else you want to say before we close it?
Yes, I just want to say, for me, I understand setting goals are hard. We all know that. Things happen that make us not even want to do our goals anymore. But at the end of the day, know that just sticking with it, all the hard work, all the dedication, everything that you put in it is going to pay off. Because that's the reason why we set goals, is because we want to be somewhere different. That is why we did this podcast, because we want people to be in a different situation. You think it's easy for us to plan out and to come on here and talk to you all? No. Things be happening in life that we have to say, okay, let's sit down, let's think out our plan, and let's go for it. When we started this podcast, we just said that we wanted to start it. We just said, hey, God gave us this vision, let's go ahead and do this podcast, and we just like, okay. But now you see, we stuck to the goal of doing it every 2 weeks. We got such into a routine, we's like, when we stopping? When is the season finale? When we taking a break? Because we had just got so wrapped up into knowing what we need to do. We doing a podcast every 2 weeks. We need to do this. We need to do that. And we just working it. We just making it happen. So that's the thing. You have to be excited and committed and just keep it going. And after we did it all those months, it's really nothing for us to get on here and to have a conversation, to talk about real things, real conversations, things that people are stressing about every single day. Because after the pandemic, many people have set goals. Many people have done all these different things. But I want you to understand, just keep going. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just keep going. It's going to happen.
Amen. We received that. Come on here. Wait, where are our actual claps here? Nothing stopping abruptly like that. Like, what? Don't play me out here in these streets. Anyway, sorry. Some decorum. Thank you all. Thank you all once again for joining us. We hope you take these tips and share these tips with your friends and family, and share your goals with your friends and family, because ultimately we want you to succeed just like we're succeeding. I mean, share your goals with us. We want to hear, what is the Lord doing in your life? What blessings are you planning to achieve? I'm looking at you. Anyway, please share your goals, comment, rate, comment, and subscribe. We are on YouTube. We are on Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Podcasts, Spotify. Spotify actually lets you ask questions now. So, like, interact with us on there. What are you doing? Come on. We love our Spotify listeners. And we love our transitioningyou.com listeners. We have some people who just go straight to our website and listen, and we love you all. We thank you for your continued support. If you need any marketing advice, consultations, any marketing help, you want some planning, you want to do some goal setting in your marketing plan, reach out to us. Contact at transitioningyou.com. Also, just go to our website, transitioningyou.com, or follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Digitally Evolving. Until we meet again, you know that, so long, farewell to you, my friend. Well, for now, until we meet again. What show was that?
I have no idea, but you was in your own little zone.
Wow, that's a millennialness in, okay.
1995.
You know what? Anyway, you're not going to make me feel old. Somebody remember that show. What's that show? Comment that show. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. Until next time, guys, don't forget to embrace your next realm. Bye. Girl, they're hating hard. He knows.